Hey guys, it's Jessica from Audacity, and I am here with a dear friend of mine, Apriel Powell, owner of Wanderlust Academy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited and so happy and proud of you. Look at
Oh,
you.
thank you. Thank you.
Good girl job.
Oh man. For those of y'all who don't know, Apriel and I, of all places, so we're both from Columbus, Georgia, but we met in Milan, Italy while she
Mm-hmm.
was there traveling, and I was there traveling as well for a study abroad venture. And we
Yeah.
met in a movie theater. I think I dropped an earring. I lost an earring, and I went in there looking for it. And she heard my
A little
accent, she
Columbus
heard my
accent.
dialect, and was like, she sounds like she's from Columbus. And she
Mm-hmm.
came and asked me. I was like, yeah.
I
So
was
put me
like,
down
what
a
are the
little bit of
chances?
face and stuff.
You and me will never part. And
Oh
here we
man.
are.
11 years later. And
Mhm.
y'all, obviously, like a lot has changed. She's a mother now, and she is launching this beautiful world schooling family travel program. I hope that's how I say it. Called Wanderlust Academy, after she herself has seen success with it with her own daughter for the last, how old is Lyric now?
Lyric will be 6 next month. And
6
so she's been
years.
traveling since she was 3.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my goodness.
Time flies. Time flies. Six
Well,
going on 60.
she's going on 7?
No, I said she's 5 now. She's 6, but she's going on
Oh,
60. If you tell her she's
oh,
yeah.
oh man. Well, I'm so excited for you to share what you've been doing because you've been working on this for quite some time, and now you're just formalizing it so that other families can also have the same opportunity. So tell us a little bit about Wanderlust and what inspired you to have it.
Yes, I mean, in the shortest, I would say in the shortest summary possible, I have no intentions of having my daughter a part of public education in any kind of way. Even like private education, just the school system. I don't think that
Hmm.
is meant for especially Black girls to thrive. And at this point in time, for children at all, it's meant to break their souls. I think that children choose us as their parents because we are like they're our apprentice, right? They want to
Yeah.
study under us what we've mastered. They need to know these things, and we need to expose them to stuff. So as I was getting my master's degree in international education, the statistics, reading about all the biases, and statistically they're going to meet a lot of bias if they're from a Black or brown family,
Hmm.
a single parent household, low
Hmm.
income, or if they have a disability of any kind. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm definitely
Right.
a single mom. So
Right. And we've seen this. We've seen this play out with children even during our primary education. We've seen that,
yeah.
like, it was harder for Black children to thrive, especially at school where it wasn't like majority Black children. Um,
Mhm.
like it's always like little Black boys getting in trouble or little Black girls having their needs ignored.
Exactly.
Kids who
Exactly.
speak
Being
Spanish being told they can't
demonized.
speak their language while they're at school.
Yep.
And now,
Yep.
I mean, like, thank God you're aware of this because, as we know what's going on in the US right now, ICE is taking kids out of schools, literally
Ah,
kidnapping children from school.
my thing is, I think because I've been studying it for so long, now it's ICE, but
Now
they've
it's
been
ICE. Yeah.
taking kids have a name, a company, a branch that they can say they're doing it for. But it used to be take them out of school because foster care, social
Hmm.
services. So yeah, they've been doing this for a while,
Yeah.
and it's very intentional. So we have to
Yeah.
be intentional about our parenting. So that's what Wanderlust came about. I'm an intentional teacher. I've been teaching for almost 15 years now, and I've even
Hmm.
seen having to observe children, just a teacher doesn't like that child, or the teacher is
Hmm.
only there because of the money, just the way
Hmm.
oh my god, breaking their little souls. So I just wanted to create something in the world that was a safe
Right.
haven for children and education.
I love that. So tell me more about to now that we know, like, okay, so it's for kids. Tell us a little bit about what specific children Wanderlust Academy is for. Is it like, for primary education? Is it K through 12? And then what makes it accessible for kids who are coming from different backgrounds, like you say?
Yeah, so it has grown and launched into something else. I would say with my American students, it's mostly black and brown because it originally was that. Like I wanted those parents who never thought they could travel with
Hmm.
their children and world school. It started there, and then it kind of blended with. I have students from Qatar and China and Brazil and Spain and all over the world. And it's not just for kids. I do actually have a program for adults as well. But my primary focus is on kids. So I start as young as 4 years old. And the goal is to have something for them to do throughout their entire educational journey to prepare them. By the time they're 18, they know they're speaking multiple languages, they know other cultures, but they're not able to have biases and racisms in any of these things because they've spent their
Hmm.
entire childhood learning about China, learning about Turkey, learning social cues and all of this.
Right.
So that age group.
Eliminating the American arrogance early on. I love it.
Exactly that.
Well, tell me a little bit more about world schooling because I remember when I first heard the term. I learned the term from you
Mhm.
actually, and watching just how you've been moving, how you've been raising your daughter and traveling the world at the same time. And initially, when I saw hashtag world schooling, I was like, "What the hell is she talking about?" I don't know what that. I was like, "What does that mean?" And I imagine that some of our audience also might not know what that is. So, can you tell our audience what exactly world schooling is?
Yes, yes. So I was the world schooling, just take homeschooling and put them on around the world. They're traveling. There's different ways to world school, so I want to make sure that parents know that because some parents don't want to try it because they're like, I don't know how to teach my
Mhm.
kid. like, and so some parents world school by putting them in an education program in the country that they're living in at that time, or they'll go to another country because they want their kids to learn in that education program. Some parents have their kids travel throughout the summers or all holidays, and then they go to like programs, kids programs and things at other schools. You can fully teach your own child. So it's like homeschool, but again, travel in the world.
Hmm.
And then, of course, there is like just online curriculums. There's so many online schools, like homeschool programs and things that kids can use as well to keep up with their education. So Wanderlust is like that, but it's not. It's taking away they're just on the computer watching videos and printing out worksheets. Like they have a
Right.
one-on-one like teacher, and I label myself, I'm a master teacher. So they
And
have
you
a
are.
master. Exactly. And so they have a master teacher like walking them through that. So yeah, world schooling can be whatever you want to, but the main focus is they travel and they do non-traditional education.
Oh, nice. So this isn't a new thing, it sounds like. It sounds like we're just finding out about it over here. But it sounds like everybody been doing this for a minute. So
Been doing it.
that is so cool. So like you said, like you're a mom and you
Mhm.
have your beautiful baby girl, your little twin, your little mini
Yeah.
me, Miss Lyric.
Yeah.
And how have you seen the world schooling benefiting her specifically? Like any pleasant surprises that it's brought you?
I've gotten to really gauge what's difficult for her and what's very easy for her. Because sometimes,
Mm,
especially as a teacher, and being a teacher and the mom of the child you're
hmm.
teaching, you don't always like we always as parents think our children are the smartest and they're this and they're that, and we can have blind spots, but
Hmm.
I learned with Lyric she's so much more ahead. So
Hmm.
every country we've ever been in, even when we're in America, when she went to like a kids program at 3 years old, she was already starting to read. She was reading books, like she was starting to read. She, of course, and so when she gets to go to those programs, she gets to get the social skills and also learn other cultures, other people. But as far as world schooling, like she reads at a third grade level.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and it's because we don't have to pack every day. You're working a
Right.
job. 3, you go to school. No, like it's about
Right.
an hour a day of like focused learning.
Mm.
Everything else is what can we learn naturally? Oh, I want to learn about the history of the genocide in Cambodia. Today we're going to go to a museum, and that is our lesson. And those hands-on lessons, like sometimes we're in a different country and she's like, you remember in the Philippines when we learned about how the whales and or when we learned about how they took over the Philippines? And I'm like, what? You were listening? But yes, they really are sponges. They're absorbing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in a situation where they don't have the foundation of I do this same thing every day. Their
Mm-hmm.
brain is constantly lit up with new experiences that make them like memorize it better, understand it better.
That's so cool. It's almost like working out. You know, like you can't do the same workout every day or you plateau. You have to keep finding new ways to challenge your
Yep.
body. So in this
Exactly.
case, you're challenging your child's very much so developing mind by
Mm-hmm.
immersing her regularly in various activities. It's almost
That's
like it
correct.
kind of sounds like also like a what like a learn by doing, like how they do in the
Yeah,
Montessori
that's
programs.
really what it is.
Yeah,
Yep. It's a
learning through
learn by doing.
hands-on experience.
Mhm.
Yeah. That is so cool. Is that her jumping on the bed? I can see her in
Yes.
the window.
Oh, you
Hey
you
girl.
can look reflected in the window. Yes.
Oh,
I told you.
that's so cute.
Yes. Yeah, we're in Cambodia, so it's always warm, and it's
Mhm.
the day before Chinese New Year's Eve. So she's
Oh
like excited.
yes.
Yeah, she's excited because all of the streets are covered in Valentine's Day decorations and Chinese New Year's. So after the interview, she knows we're going out.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about how you got here. Obviously, like I know what happened because we've been friends for so long, but tell our audience, I guess, like what encouraged you to take the leap and leave the US to world school your daughter? Because you had her here in the United States, right?
I did. I didn't get
Mhm.
pregnant in the United States, but
Well,
I came back when I was like 6 months pregnant. I think that because you met me in 2015 when I was in Italy, and that was my
hmm
first time living outside of America.
hmm
And I very quickly knew that I don't ever want to live in America again. Like for me,
Right.
mentally, spiritually, physically, I just couldn't, like, it doesn't do well for my body and me.
hmm
Um, and so then after that, I went to China and I was teaching. And that's when I first started teaching in the classroom. Like this is when I was introduced to like teaching. And because we both have acting backgrounds. My first degree was in theater, so you just naturally are able to engage and
hmm
teach people things because we can communicate very well. So I
hmm
realized, wow, I love this. I'm passionate about it. Hate corporate, hate a principal, hate a boss. So like, or hate rules, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even when I was in China before I was a mom, I taught for 2 years in schools, and then I opened up my own theater school and my own comedy club there. So of course now I'm addicted to the freedom. Then I meet her father, we get married, and I know that I don't want to live in America. I don't want to raise her in America.
hmm
So just that's when the thought was there then.
hmm
COVID, COVID came. I'm pregnant. Everyone's stuck in the house. Perfect timing for me because I didn't miss out on any fun. But
Right.
since I'm in this house, I'm going to go get my master's degree, and that's really what put all this together. So we're here. We're
hmm
here. We're here. Getting my master's degree, studying, learning the statistics, learning things. I'm Gemini, so once we get facts and
Yeah, y'all
information,
love your factoids, your random
oh
factoids.
yes, we apply it quickly. My mind, and then of course we were having George Floyd, Trayvon Martin. Like
Yeah.
I was depressed in America and hopeless at the idea of my child experiencing any of the things that I did in America. And so it
hmm
was non-negotiable. I don't know how, I didn't know how I was going to do it. But sometimes once you say no to something, information comes to you. So like
Right.
where the universe or God, like they send the information to you. And I think
Right.
right after I was like, I can't raise her going to school here. I heard about world school and I was like, what? And so
That's a
that's,
thing.
yeah, that's when I started. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that.
I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. I know you know us. You know us. Sometimes folks can be a little judgy. So, what are
Yeah.
some common misconceptions that you want to dispel about world schooling for our audience? Because to me, that all logically lines up. And I think there's plenty, you're not the only person who, has chosen that kind of life. And I get it.
Yeah.
I don't have children at this time, but I'm very much so in my when it comes time for my family planning, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? Because some of this traditional stuff is not it, you know.
Yeah.
So tell our audience a little bit about some common misconceptions that you would like to dispel. Some little myth busters about world schooling for everybody.
Yes. Number one is that you're irresponsible, like you just don't want to be an adult and get a real job. I got a lot of that in the beginning. If things didn't go well, you know how like if you're on top and like things are good, money's coming
Hmm.
in, everyone's like, oh, okay, well maybe she should have took
Right.
the risk. If there's a little dip for a week,
It's like,
then it's,
oh, do you regret
yeah,
what you did now?
now you ready to get a real job? Like you ready to be a responsible mom? So there's sometimes a belief that you're not responsible or because you don't follow the plan.
Right.
Um, Also that the children won't be able to socialize is another misconception. Like this is not true at all. Everywhere we go, especially in countries like Asia, they're so
Hmm.
primed and loving of children. Restaurants have playgrounds in it, but the adult part is right there. So, and there's so many activities, easy to get childcare or help. So you really they do socialize because they get to see other kids all the time. There's lots of other parents who are world schooling, lots of Black parents who are starting to world school. We spent
Hmm.
the month in the Philippines with another world schooling family. And so Black woman, she had two sons. We spent the month with them in the Philippines. So you get to have these type of experiences. Another one would be that I don't want my kid around me all the time. I need me time. If I world school, we traveling and I'm doing the education. No, 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 no. Like I drop her off. I get
She
my
goes
time.
places and you go places.
I research, find the best place, look at the reviews, make connections, and you will find, like, for example, she goes to this kids program here in Cambodia 3 days a week,
Hmm.
for 4 hours. It's $130 a month. So just thinking about how much more that would be in America, just three, you paying
For three
thousands.
days a week in
Yeah,
America, that would be $130 a week.
at
Minimum.
least,
Like,
yeah,
and that's the
at least.
minimum.
Exactly. So you have more support. That's the thing I want to say. Like, you really do have more support. America is not set up for parenting. It's not.
Hmm.
Like, otherwise we moms wouldn't have to go back to work so quickly after having a baby. Like, America
Hmm.
is set for you. You work, get these kids in school so they out of your way,
So they can,
and
and then they
then
can come work later
yes,
on.
and then they
Instead of
can
like,
do
so
what
your
you.
child can also come into the corporate pipeline.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And then I want to say the last one is that you have to be rich to do it. When I started
Mm.
world schooling her, I went to Bali. I had saved like $22,000, and I'm like, I got this business. I know it's gonna work, but you forget that you gotta the a year or two lay down the groundwork, and the savings started to go away. And then finally I was like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think it was like 6 or 7 months we traveled around Malaysia, we went to Vietnam, and I was living off like $120 a week. And that's like two of us in a hotel, food, some kind of activity, whether it be an amusement park or a playground or some 100. It was rough, but you could do it. So
Ooh.
yeah, so you can do it. You don't have to
Hmm.
have a whole lot of money to do world schooling.
I do appreciate that you're not trying to sell it in a way that like, it's not like it's not still work. It's still work, but
Yes.
it's a different kind of, I think, loving labor, it
Yes,
sounds
you
like.
can live check to check in America. So why not live check to check at the beach?
Somewhere pretty. Yeah.
And half the price.
We live check to
They're
check
not
while I
trying
eat
to
some
live
Singapore
here.
noodles in Singapore.
Exactly.
So, I've heard you talk about how, like, you've met a lot of Black families who do this. So tell us more about how Wanderlust Academy specifically benefits Black families who are interested in world schooling their children.
Yes. Okay. So I want to say that I mostly benefit single parents. That's
Mm-hmm.
really like my passion. They get
Mm-hmm.
their tuition price is completely different than not single household families. But how does it benefit Black families? We already know, like, as Black Americans, we're expected to be 20 times better, right?
For
Just
half
to
as
get
much.
Yes, exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine your child gets the experience of traveling the world. By the time they're 18, they speak 2 to 3 languages. They've got friends all over the world. Everywhere they go, if something happened, they have somewhere they can stay, a friend, a family who considers them
Mm-hmm.
family. So it's really being able to build a nest of safety outside of America, to me, is the number one thing, because we see how America's looking now, and you're going to need those safety nets, and then they will be able to get a job or create a business.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? You get the opportunity you get to build this life as much as you want in the way that you can with the circumstances. Like, I'm not saying everybody
Right.
can end up being a billionaire, but
Right.
if you don't like waking up at 6:40 in the morning to get your child ready for school, you don't
Do
have
something
to.
else. Yeah, I think
Yes,
a lot
that
of
might
people
not be
assume that
your
like we're all being
ministry.
forced into these boxes and everything. And don't get me wrong, like society is going to try, but one thing
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, I'm like, we are adults. We literally don't have to do anything.
Not a thing at all. Not
We
a
don't
thing at
have to
all.
do
If I
any of
want to
this
be
stuff.
home, yes, all
Like,
of
now,
it is,
find a way to do
it's a
what you want to
prison.
do instead. But like, I think a lot of people don't want to do the hard part of, or they're not even that they don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do it, that they're afraid to do the hard part of figuring out what it is they'd rather
Mm-hmm.
do instead. Having to think for yourself is tiring.
That, that is true. That is true. And
Mhm.
I've always been a person who I've never thought how other people thought. So when
Mhm.
I was a kid and we were like 5 and 6, 7 years old playing Barbies, my friends'
Mhm.
Barbies would get married and when they would go to work, my Barbie would fly around the world for auditions, do movies, travel. She'd come home and tell her boyfriend, "Oh, I missed you, kiss, kiss," then leave again. Like, and this was me at like 6, 7. That's how my
Uh-huh.
Barbies did not marry. They didn't have what's the little baby, the little kid that come out, Kiki or whatever her name is. Nah, she can't
Oh
be in the
yeah,
house.
I remember that. Remember when they had the pregnant Barbie? Who was it, Midge?
Ugh,
Barbie's big sister who
ugh.
was already married, had
Mm-hmm.
family. I'm like, I don't
Yep,
want to be Midge. I want to be
that's
Barbie
right.
because Barbie was
I want to be
outside.
free, try all the jobs.
Yeah,
Exactly,
Barbie
exactly.
was
So you
outside.
really
She
built
lived
your
her
life how you
sisters with
want,
Skipper. Skipper had to do everything because Barbie was always doing stuff.
right?
But
That's
Skipper
how
was
it should
happy.
be.
Look, Skipper had whole babysitting service. She was happy.
That's true. And probably gets to borrow Barbie's wardrobe when Barbie get back
Hmm.
home.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, we have
Well,
one
with the
life built
Barbies
to
and with the
be one.
families and everything, before our Zoom cut off and I had to restart us, we were
Yeah.
talking about how Wanderlust Academy is great for Black families. So tell us a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
about that, and I'll cut all this together.
I think it's a yeah, it's a option. It's a oasis in the desert. So I
Mm,
know that a lot of Black families right now feel like hopeless. Like, what's
hmm.
like it's getting worse. I think that for us as Black Americans, we've always seen America like this, the way it is, and everyone else is like,
It's a day
"What?
at the
They're
office over
treating us
here.
like Black people now."
It's a day at the
Yes,
office right now
but
for Black people.
exactly. Yes, this is we're the most educated we've ever been in history. We are making the most money we've ever made, and that doesn't mean you have to, like I said, be a millionaire, but you have enough to create a life wherever you want. And Wanderlust Academy really cuts out the difficult part of how do I know they're going to get a good education? How do I know that? Because I'm not going to lie, a lot of these world school programs, camps, and everything like that are majority white. I have seen Black parents who try to join these and they end up having racial issues and they end up having, different things that weren't okay.
Because
So it's
anti-blackness
from
is
a Black
global.
woman. Exactly. And so Wanderlust Academy is created by a Black woman. I have done this with a Black child. Like, I have found and researched the best places for us to be able to just have a healthy family without all of the other dynamics life gives us, all of the other battles that you have to fight. And especially when it comes down to education, like, students of my academy have won top positions in debates in China. Like,
Nice.
they've done auditions. Yes, done. One of my students was in my acting program, and they were in the highest grossing movie in Chinese history last year. And so, and Black, Black. And so, and it also, I think that we have to find information a lot of times as Black people, as Black Americans, instead of it being given to us. Like, a lot of cultures, they know stuff about Spain because they have Spanish, ancestors, and they know things about China or Japan or Cambodia, and we're stuck in this, like, we just trying to get over slavery and get over Jim Crow. And, like, it's a survival mode that Black parents are constantly in. I can say Wanderlust Academy takes the education part completely off of your shoulders. And that's what most of my parents in their reviews just say, I can trust this teacher. And I also have certification in therapy and trauma therapy. And so I blend that also, like, it's not just learning like ABCs or science or this, we're also learning how to be a whole human, because we're all born, Black Americans, we're all born with trauma.
Yeah.
Like, just pass it down, right? And yes, exactly. So it's just a whole encompassing thing that takes a big stress off of their backs. Like, it just, obviously I'm biased, but the reviews don't lie.
Listen, the reviews don't lie, and neither do your degrees. Okay?
Exactly.
Because she's got a master's in international education. She says she got the certifications in therapy and trauma. Like, you're teaching from a healed place, and you're raising healed children. Yeah. And it's beautiful. And I'm so proud of you.
Child. I know you mean children as far as me teaching.
Yeah, I mean your kids, like your students.
Sure we don't speak nothing into existence. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
No. Just your students. Your students is the children's.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And when children are healing, they encourage their parents to heal as well.
They do.
And when parents aren't so stressed about, I mean, think about how many Black American parents are just hoping that their child gets home safely, or they don't get expelled or suspended or in trouble for something bigger than what they were supposed to get in trouble for, on top of making sure they have a good education. It's impossible. It's impossible way of living.
Yeah. It's no way to live. I agree. I absolutely agree. So y'all are launching now in March, right? So, and this interview is happening for everybody in the audience. This interview is happening in February. So we're getting very, very close to the launch date. What can students and parents expect when y'all launch in March?
So it just, when we launch in March, I would say I'm only allowing 10 students for this grand opening. Fair. So students and parents can expect a true hands-on, one-on-one dedicated educator in their child's corner. So whether that be you want to world school and you want to completely use my curriculum, I create curriculums for families to use based on what country. That if you go to the Philippines, how can they learn Spanish? How can they learn language? Not Spanish, sorry, but language, science, art, social studies, history. How can they learn those things while traveling? I create those curriculums. I also have curriculums that go along with the global standard of what they're supposed to be learning, so you can take that route. But the main thing is that they will immediately be able to see the difference of having one educator taking care of their child's education instead of just having to throw them into a school and hope and trust that this person ain't secretly in the KKK.
Right.
So, yeah.
That is a thing.
That part.
That's such a, why is that a thing? It's a thing,
though.
It
is. Yeah. It's such a thing. It is a thing. Yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about.
They get a gold.
Oh God.
I'm quiet. I'm just.
Hold on.
Ask your question, because you know my Gmail. I'll just say whatever. You gotta censor me.
No, I don't believe in censoring, child. They try to do that over here to us in the U.S. One of my friends was like, just get with your consent. I don't want the FBI at your door. My answer is, try me.
Yep, try me. I love it.
Me. No, actually, please don't come to my house. I'm not saying that. Please don't come to my house. Yeah, but they're trying so hard to censor people here right now, specifically journalists. And that's why I just feel like it's very important to make sure we're putting spotlight on, not just on other Black businesses, but Black businesses that are providing real needs for what we're doing right now. I think a lot of Black people in America are looking into homesteading. Curious, side note, this is not my list of questions, but would this be something that's optional for a homestead family?
Yes. I do have homeschooling families as well. So World School is how it started, Wanderlust. Yeah, it's the ultimate goal if you can get there, but I create curriculums for homeschool families as well.
Okay, cool. All right, I was curious about that because a lot of Black people are homesteading now, which I don't blame them. But a lot of people are looking into those kinds of options. Just know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what you're doing.
Yes, exactly. And if you don't want a teacher, like I said, I create custom curriculums, and it goes based on the child's learning needs. We do an assessment and see like what difficulties are they having right now, and what are their secret gifts. Because a lot of schools don't focus on that. I think that every single child is a genius in something. Every human is a genius in something.
Yes.
If we find out what they're a genius in, we can really cultivate that, so that by the time they're 18, they're a master at their thing.
Yes.
Like they're already ready. Start a company, start a business. They can do whatever they want with it. And then the other stuff, we just make sure they're not falling behind, so that they, have those important skills. So yeah.
Right. Well, so tell me about a day in the life at Wanderlust. So I have moved to, let's see, where am I going? I have moved to Thailand with my baby, and I don't have children, everybody. I don't have children. I'm not moving to Thailand anytime soon, though I've heard it's lovely. But, it's just for example purposes. Me and my baby, we just touched it, and I want to put my child in this school. When I drop my child off or I sit my child in front of their computer for the day, what's the day in the life for them?
Oh, so there's the thing. Let's take day out of it. Okay.
Okay.
Like that's going back to that's literally going back to the capitalistic mindset of America, where education is a job for a kid, a full-time job. It's not a day. My daughter will never have a full day of school. So like I said, in the morning, it doesn't even have to be the same time. I have parents who they want their child to go do it at the same time. So I have obviously lessons. The most I do per week is like 3 lessons per week, an hour with their child, or they can do 5 lessons, 25 minutes. That I will allow that, but that's because I don't want the parent to have the mindset of education all the time, right? I can walk you through a day of a life of a day as a student for my daughter, because this is what I'll
Yeah.
replicate.
Yeah.
So we
Rewire
wake
my
up.
brain for this. Yeah.
Yes, we wake up when we feel like it. That's so when we feel like it. If I have to teach in the morning, I wake up and teach my class, and she stays asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she wakes up, we'll like maybe do like an arts and craft or some kind of activity together. And then math. I'm not great at math, so I of course for her age level, I'm great. But I'm teaching her the independent skills now. So we do more
Mm-hmm.
worksheets, and we also use another online program that does really good with math. And then we find out which activity we're going to do for the day, whether it be go wash and feed elephants, or go to the aquarium, do a cooking class. It's just really free, but I would say just structured learning per day. She does an hour. Everything
Mm-hmm.
else is just learn by living. Now, I do also have my families who want something more structured. They want to give
Mm-hmm.
more time. So we again max out 3 lessons online a week, but
Mm-hmm.
they have projects, they have homework, they have tests and assessments and stuff as well to help them throughout the week. And they can always reach me. That's why I'm maxing at 10 students this time, because
Mm-hmm.
my office hours are going to be more open and available. But yeah, they focus on their genius. What are you really good at? How can we cultivate that? And then the other subjects, we look at like how we can make sure they're on par with students of their age and level.
I want to go to Wanderlust Academy. I
Yes, but keep in
wish
mind, because I
something
want
in
to
my
make sure people
education.
know. Yes, but remember,
Yeah,
Wanderlust is online right now. Online
yes.
academy. I do occasionally, like in the Philippines,
Mm.
twice a year, I do a English and a theater camp there. So
Oh,
sometimes
nice.
Wanderlust camp, yeah, Wanderlust, a school or government will like hire me to create their curriculum or to put a theater program in their school. So then, yeah, now I'm at school with multiple students. But Wanderlust Academy, the goal right now is one-on-one instruction,
Nice.
focused on one child at a time. Mm-hmm.
Ah, I love this so much, and I'm so proud of you. And I think it's such a great idea and such a great thing that you're doing that
Yeah.
I think is going to help a lot of families and a lot of kids. So, just
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing what you're doing with all of us and with our audience. And tell us before we get going how we can support you.
How can you support me? Spread the word. Even if you are a parent who's not ready to exit out of public education, maybe you have a friend who's thinking about it and talking about it. You can follow us on Instagram, Lyric and Apriel Wanderlust, where I constantly post content of how she's world schooling and learning. We have our cooking class sections and arts and crafts activities. I also give parents ideas of lessons that they can do. Or if you know your child is having a difficulty in a particular subject, consider coming to Wanderlust for our curriculum and allowing me to be a part of their learning journey. See how we can turn that around. So that's how you can support me. Spread the word, book me,
Period.
or follow on
Pay
Instagram.
her,
Yes.
people. Pay
Heavy
her.
on the book me. Heavy on the
We
book
love a good repost. We love a good comment and everything like that. But pay her. Comments don't pay the bills. They do help
Yes.
get somebody who might help her pay the bills, but pay her. Give her the
Mm-hmm.
money.
Mm-hmm. They ain't paying nothing right now.
Mm-mm. Put it in a hand, friends. Put it in her hand.
Exactly.
Thank you so
Exactly.
much for being here. I'm so
Thank
proud of
you
you.
for
I'm so
inviting
excited
me.
for you. Yes, of course. But all roads lead to Columbus, Georgia. So
That's the main takeaway.
that's the tagline. But I'm so happy we got to connect today. And I'm so happy we got to tell everybody about what you've been doing and about the amazing, what we call it, black folks always got to do this, the illustrious Wanderlust Academy. And it will be
Yes,
illustrious.
and let's
It's going to be
exactly. I
illustrious.
love
Okay.
it.
So
Funny.
All right, guys, make sure that you comment, that you like this video, share this video. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you hit that little button. And of course, if you want more content, visit audacitymagazine.org and subscribe to our free newsletter. Thank you, Apriel, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.